What's the most frightening thing that you have ever heard? Have you heard about the dark web? Do you know what lurks there? If you have heard about it, then you must be aware of how dangerous it can be. The Mafia is a very secretive group that has a lot of power over the government. In fact, there was a case where the Mafia tried to hide a victim's body for 40 years. That's right, for decades. And somehow they managed to keep it hidden all that time until one day it was finally found. Everyone was talking about the strange construction work going on at the local church. It was here that the townspeople came to pray and to gather with their friends and neighbors. Inside the box was a human skull, and as the workers continued to dig, they found more bones. Soon they had uncovered the entire skeleton of a man who had been buried under the church floor for 40 years. Everyone was talking about it, and no. One could believe that such a thing could have happened right under their noses for all those years. Some people were even afraid to go to the church after hearing the news. They were afraid that the ghost of the dead man was haunting the church. They didn't know anything about the murder until Pina came forward. And when she did, they were able to solve the case. Maybe they thought that the church was a safe place, because it was respected by everyone in the town. Or maybe they just thought that the thick floor and the old age of the church would make it difficult for the body to be found. Whatever their reasons were, it didn't work out for them. After 40 years, the body was finally found and justice was served. But now the church was being turned into a construction zone and no one knew why. But the police believed that the bones belonged to a member of the Mafia who was killed in a gang war. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We also want to thank you for watching this video. She was curious about what was inside, but she couldn't open it because it was locked. She asked her grandmother about it, but her grandmother only said that it was nothing important and that she should forget about it. She wanted to keep it close by, so that she could remember her grandmother and the soldier. The girl's grandmother never spoke much about her past, but the girl was grateful that she had found this hidden treasure. It gave her a new appreciation for her grandmother and the sacrifices that she had made. The girl knew that she would cherish the letters in the photograph forever. They were a reminder of a time when love and courage were the most important things in the world. The girl was not satisfied with her grandmother's answer, so she decided to investigate further. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to subscribe for more updates. After looking for a while, she finally found a key that looked like it might fit. She took the key and inserted it into the lock. To her surprise, it worked. She opened the chest and found a stack of old letters and photographs. The girl began to read the letters and soon realized that they were love letters from a soldier to her grandmother. The soldier had written the letters during World War II, and the girl was moved by the passion and devotion that he had for her grandmother. She also found a photograph of the soldier and her grandmother together. The girl couldn't help but smile when she saw the picture. It was clear that her grandmother had been in love with the soldier, and the girl couldn't help but feel happy for her. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. The museum is open to the public, and people from all over the world come to visit it. They were able to identify him because he was wearing a ring with his name on it, and they were able to lay him to rest. The police also believe that the Mafia tried to cover up the murder by burying the man under the church floor. If you ever find yourself in northern Italy, we highly recommend checking out the museum dedicated to Giuseppe and other victims of the Mafia. It's a fascinating look into a dark part of Italian history. And it's also a reminder of the evil that can lurk beneath even the most beautiful of surfaces. The Mafia is known for its elaborate burial rituals, and they usually prefer to bury their dead in unmarked graves, and bury one of their own under a church. There are many theories as to why this happened. Some say that the Mafia wanted to send a message to the townspeople by showing them that they were in control, even death. Others say that they simply couldn't think of any other place to hide the body. This helps to prevent any interference from law enforcement, and it also makes it difficult for the families of the dead to find their loved ones' remains. But how could they have kept the body hidden for so long? Well, the church is very old, and the floor is very thick. Plus, the body was buried in a concrete vault, which made it even harder to detect. Finally, the day came when the workers finished their work, and the reason for the construction was revealed. For weeks, workers had been busy digging under the floor of the church, and no one could figure out why. His name was Giuseppe Dimacchio, and he had been a member of the Mafia. He had been killed in a gang war, and his body had been buried under the church floor to hide the evidence. The church was old, and had stood in the town for centuries. Well, it all started when a woman named Pina Tortorella came forward with some information. She told the police that she had seen Giuseppe's body being carried into the church. She was only 9 years old at the time, but she remembered what had happened because she had been so scared. Her father had been a member of the Mafia, and he had told her that Giuseppe had been killed. He said that the only way to hide the body was to bury it under the church floor. That's what they did. It had seen its fair share of renovations over the years, but this was the first time anyone could remember that anything so drastic had been done. This case is truly fascinating, and we'll tell you all about it in this video, so be sure to watch till the end to find out what happened. They're involved in some really bad stuff like selling illegal drugs and controlling who wins elections. But sometimes they do something even worse than that. They also kill people. When they kill someone, they don't just leave their body lying around. No. They make sure to hide it so the police will never find it. But not everyone knows about this. So let's take a closer look at this and see what creepy things were found on the dark web. Mafia, buried under the church for 40 years. You might have heard about the Mafia, but if you haven't, we'll catch you up. In the past, the Mafia was very successful at hiding their victims. But these days, technology has made it much more difficult to do. But before we start, remember to hit that subscribe button for more videos. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it. Now let's get started. A small town in northern Italy was in an uproar. The church was the center of life in the small Italian town. Underneath the church floor, the workers had found a wooden box. And when they opened it, they found something that shocked them to their core. How did the skeleton get there? Well, no one knows for sure, but eventually the body was found. When it was, it caused quite an uproar in the town. The police were able to identify the skeleton because he had been wearing a ring with his name on it. But how did the police find out that he was there? Pina's father had died since then, but she had never forgotten what she had seen. Now she was finally able to tell the police. It's not clear why the Mafia decided to bury the body under the church floor. The discovery of the skeleton brought some closure to the family of Giuseppe. After the discovery, the Italian government took over the church and turned it into a museum dedicated to Giuseppe and other victims of the Mafia. Now, we don't know how common it is for Mafia members to be buried under churches, but we do know that it's definitely not a regular occurrence. However, in this case, it seems that the Mafia decided to go all out. Whatever the reason, it's clear that this was an extremely rare occurrence. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think the Mafia was trying to do by burying one of their own under a church? A young girl was searching through her grandmother's attic when she came across a mysterious wooden chest. She went back to the attic and began to search for a key that would fit the chest. The girl took the chest down from the attic and placed it in her bedroom. That's all for today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, stay curious.